What's up, guys? I made a video earlier on the Blood Reaver and I decided to do a follow-up. In the first video, I talked about the Blood Reaver, what it does and how useful it was. This time I'll take a second look at it. When I made that video, I did try using the Blood Reaver at a few places, like at Vindicta, and from what I thought, that this familiar was too weak. I looked on the wiki page and saw that the passive synergizes with cinderbane gloves. I didn't think too much of it and wrote it off as nothing, and that it wouldn't even overtake the damage of a river demon. So I decided to use it on some monsters that were poisonable to see if they're good enough. Okay, let's just see how good the Blood Reaver really is at Soul Devourers. I'm using this setup with the Vampirism Aura, Vampiric Blood Essence, and the Cerdum Godsword passive with Trid Masterwork. And Cinderbane Gloves, all the poison, Holy Aggro Overloads. Let's just see how this goes. So far, I just started, got 57 minutes on Aura, and got 23 kills. So let's see how it goes after this hour, and see how it compares with some other things. Okay, just finished up an hour at the Salawa Ox with our Blood Reaver. Got 913 kills. With the, Cerdum Godsword, all the heals and all the poison. 913 kills. I would say that's pretty good. But let's go see how it is with other familiars. Okay, just finished up an hour at Salawa Ox again. But this time we use a River Demon instead of the Blood Reaver and got 910 kills. So just 3 fewer than the Blood Reaver. Which I thought that the Ripper Demon would do better, but no. The Blood Reaver did slightly better. So I wanted to try out Blood Reavers at Vyres because that's a very common thing to kill. As you can see, I am punching it and doing no damage, and sometimes it blocks, but you can't deal damage to Vyres unless you have the Sun Spear or Blisterwood, and that goes for the Familiar. The Familiar is attacking, but it's not doing any damage, and there was a poison hit, but so far, no damage. So let's see how much damage I would do if I heal. Would the Blood Reaver Familiar work? Okay, it looks like the Blood Familiar passive does work on Vyres. However, it will not do any damage with its normal attack. Okay, just doing some Vyres right now with the Blood Reaver, and since since Blood Reaver passive does work on Vyres and Familiars cannot damage the Vyre Watches, the Blood Reaver seems to be one of the top familiars to deal damage to the Vyre Watches. Let's try Ripper Demons using a Blood Reaver. I don't do Legacy Barraging because I don't have good enough gear. I've tried it before and I've died a few times, so I'm not really that great at it. Dummies are kind of hard to come by. I would have to get a main account and deploy one. So having a target to barrage would be really difficult. I don't want to use the invention dummies because they don't last too long, and they aren't stackable. So that really leaves just targeting the Ripper Demon single target, and with melee because Darkblade is good, and the Scrimshaw Vampirism will help you live. So let's see how that goes. $535 from the Ripper Demon spec just by eating a shark. That looks pretty good. Oh man, that's a lot of poison hits. Using the Scrimshaw Vampirism to get some heals in because these guys do a lot of damage. This place is just one of those places that, yes, you take a lot of damage, that you can just heal it all back. So, look at that. Some poison hits. Way more than you would think. Alright, just finished up a half hour at Ripper Demons with the Blood Reaver. Let's see how many kills. 135. Alright, got 135 kills, so that's better than what I did with the BOB. And I would say that, yeah, Blood Reaver is pretty good here. The reason why I used the BOB before is so then that the legendary pet could pick up stuff while I was killing other stuff. So I didn't have to pick up loot. But now with area looting staying open, that doesn't have much of a use. So I would just bring a combat familiar. The Blood Reaver seems like a pretty good option, a decent option if you were to single target the Ripper Demons, because Ripper Demons seem to fit a lot of the bills of where you would use a Blood Reaver. It's poisonable. Ripper Demons are also... they also do a lot of damage. Scrimshaw Vampirism could heal it all back, which would cause the Blood Reaver passive to activate. Ripper Demons also drop food, so then you can eat them and use the Blood Reaver passive on the Ripper Demons. But the most important is that they are poisonable. Let's look at Telos. He can be poisoned, and it's a place you would use a Ripper Demon. At Telos, I usually start at 0% enrage and go all the way to 1000 or when I get a drop. Usually I start the first hour with melee, a Vampirism Scrimshaw, and with a Ripper Demon without scrolls. On most streaks I can get 12 or 13 kills in the first hour and end at about 150% enrage. I tried a new streak and got 13 kills with the Blood Reaver in the first hour. I haven't tried higher enrages yet with it since I don't use Vampirism Scrimshaws then, and I would still prefer a Ripper Demon at higher enrages. Last place I'll look at is Gregorivic. He can be done with low effort, and previously you could get about 36 kills per hour with Revo++ melee with a trimmed Masterwork Spear. This required a Vampirism Scrimshaw and optional aura to heal enough. The familiar was usually a Ripper Demon. With the Blood Reaver, however, the number of kills per hour with melee has gone up to over 40 kills per hour with Laniakea's Spear. Even better is with range using a Wyvern Crossbow. I was getting 43 kills per hour with a Wyvern Crossbow. The reason the AFK Greg meta is a Blood Reaver with Laniakea's Spear or Wyvern Crossbow is that the number of hits you do is higher than what tier 92 weapons do, giving more chances for poison to proc, especially from cinderbanes. Anything that gives you extra hits should be used. For range, Greater Dazing Shot and Greater Ricochet are first on the Revo bar for that reason, and Salt the Wound comes into play. There is a high initial cost of ranging because of Greater Ricochet, so using melee with Laniakea's Spear is the alternative. Alright, let's go through a simple checklist. Can you poison with Cinderbane gloves against your target? Do you have a constant source of healing like Vampirism or Soul Split? Is your target not immune to familiar damage? For that last question, even though the Blood Reaver's passive can hit monsters immune to familiar damage, most of them are poison immune and have high defense, which warrants using a Nihil. This includes regular Nex, Araxor, and Virago. If the answer to all of them is yes, this might be a viable option. I hope that this gives you insight on this familiar, and that's going to be the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Catch you in the next one.